Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's a pleasure to be in your company this afternoon on this TGIF Open Line show, where you are my co-host and we talk about the week that was. And boy, do we have a lot of ground to cover this week. So let's get started. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and telephone calls is 801 0271, 801 0271. You can also catch us on the official Facebook pages of the Global 99.5 FM and Michelle Malcolm official Facebook page. And we are airing on Cable Bahamas Channel 974. Cable Bahamas Channel 974. So that's the way that you can tune in and get plugged into the show. And those of you who are regulars around here know that you can either send us a message via text if you don't want your voice heard, or you can post a message. When I say text, I'm talking WhatsApp at 8010271. Or you can post a message on our Facebook page as well. And we will try to get as many of those messages up on the stream as possible for our viewing audience to be able to read and see your comments. So every Friday, we do an open line show where my audience is the co-host. And so even though I would have pulled a couple of clips from the news, don't feel that you are limited to only talk about the clips that I have pulled, because this show is not just about me or what I think is newsworthy, but about whatever you want to talk about. That being said, I do expect this to be a show with participation. It's no fun talking to yourself for 2 hours. I mean, some people could have a very lively conversation, don't get me wrong, but no, I want to hear from you guys. This has to be interactive in order for this to be a successful show. So again, those numbers 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 8010271. 8010271. So if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube and you're wondering how come I little dress up today on a Friday especially, well, I attended the memorial service for Ed Bethel this morning. And, memorial services, funerals are never a happy occasion per se, because you're saying goodbye to someone that you would have loved or respected, or you're paying, your respects to the family, that kind of thing. And it's always difficult to see people that you know, particularly family members that you would have known for a long time, and to see the pain and anguish that they go through. Listen, I just went through this in January with my dad's funeral, so it's still very fresh for me. So again, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to Dawn and all of Eddie's children, Ed Bethel, Eddie B, and just say that, our thoughts and prayers are with you. And just to, not that I have to tell you this, but to remind you that your husband and father, and to those of his siblings and other family members at Bethel, um, made a significant contribution to the development of this nation. And I believe that the nation as a whole will be grateful for, a long time to come based on the contributions that he would have made to this country. So, again, my condolences and deepest sympathy to the family of the late Ed Bethel. It was good to catch up with quite a few of my former ZNS colleagues, including my second boss at ZNS, Obi Wilcom. He was obviously there. And then I saw some other colleagues, Jerome Sawyer, some other persons who worked behind the scenes, Louis Henschel, who's the former general manager, um, Anthony Foster, who's a former general manager, and then we saw some people from the clerical side. Paul Fernando and his wife Portia were there, and it was a good little turnout from ZNS. Debbie Bartlett was there. Um, and it was a good representation from ZNS to pay respects to Ed Bethel. And I see that there are several memorials planned. The one today was the one planned by his family, so I figured that was the one to attend. And I believe that there's one more next week. I'm not sure who is behind that one, but I thought it was important to attend the memorial service that was put on by his family, which was held today. So may he rest in peace. Okay, so let's look at this week that was. This I don't even know where to begin. There's so much meat that we can chew on with regard to the week that was. Where do we begin? Let's see. I gotta decide. I gotta do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo situation. Y'all remember that when you were kids growing up? All right. Let's see. Uh, Glennis Hannah Martin made news this past week by stepping out and saying that her position did not change as it relates to the situation with RCCL and their project on the western side of Paradise Island as compared to Toby Smith. And many were calling for her resignation or firing because of the fact that she would have gone against what seems to be a cabinet decision regarding that project. And according to the Westminster system, you're supposed to have collective responsibility. If you're in cabinet, you're not supposed to publicly disagree with any decision that is made by cabinet. Well, Prime Minister Davis came out and said he didn't think that what Glennis did was, warranted her being fired or removed from the cabinet. And this has led to quite a bit of back and forth as to whether or not the Prime Minister should have dealt with Glennis according to the Westminster system. And some are saying that, Glennis didn't do anything wrong. Others are saying that, the Prime Minister has to deal with it. And one of the people who is very vocal, or who this past week was very vocal about the Prime Minister's decision not to take any action against Glennis Hannah Martin, was none other than the former Prime Minister, Hubert Minnis, who says that Davis is a weak leader. Here is a report now on what Minnis had to say with regard to this.
The country's former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis mincing no words today. He says PM Davis is a weak leader. His assertion based on the fact that Davis's cabinet minister Glenys Hanna-Martin objected to the Royal Caribbean project on Paradise Island, which cabinet has conditionally greenlit. Dr. Minnis says the PM needs to step up to the plate and lead.
With respect to the Glenys or other cabinet ministers, I've said repeatedly and said it in Parliament that the Prime Minister is demonstrating himself to be a weak leader. He must take control. He's weak. Weak. Can't even get his own cabinet to agree with his position. That is weakness.
Dr. Minnis says the Prime Minister also has a track record of not handling his ministers with authority.
He demonstrated it clearly throughout his tenure. He did not deal with the member for Elizabeth, who had broken the law in issuing taxi plates. It's still illegal how it was done. He's not dealt with that. He's not dealt with the issue when she was accused of assaulting a police officer. He allowed an investigation to linger. And yes, they said there's nothing there. However, under ordinary circumstances, you investigate the minister, you would move him or her from that portfolio.
Meantime, leader of the Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, says Hanna-Martin's comments have once again exposed the dysfunction of Davis's cabinet.
Cabinet decisions, once made, require that every cabinet minister is a part of collective responsibility. They take responsibility for the final decision. That matter has clearly gone through NEC, the National Economic Council, and has a cabinet conclusion. So certainly no minister has the right to depart from that convention, and so the Prime Minister is duty bound to act in the event that she fails to do the honorable thing.
The Office of the Prime Minister in a statement asserted that Hanna-Martin did not violate ministerial code. The statement further explained that the RCCL deal remains under review pending the outcome of environmental impact assessment. Both Dr. Minnis and Pintard expressing disagreement with that reasoning.
His own remarks are conflicting. He had stated that the RCCL project would commence, will be groundbreaking very soon. Then he came back and said they must wait for environmental impact studies and whatever. He can't get his own story straight. That's a sign of weak leadership.
He is indicating that no conclusion has been arrived at by cabinet. Now that is a material detail. It is our clear understanding that the National Economic Committee, as well as the cabinet, have met. And so whether he wants to be cute about it, whether it's all of cabinet or a subcommittee of cabinet, the reality is they have made a determination about this project going forward.
Janaea, I pressed Hanna-Martin for her thoughts on the matter today. She opted not to comment as Prime Minister Philip Davis has already spoken on the issue.
Okay, that report came from Eyewitness News. What are your thoughts on this? I see William Campbell is making a comment on Facebook that says this prime minister will not do anything because when he was on that position with Christie, he wasn't fired. So what do you expect? Minister of Works and Wells. Okay. What are your thoughts on this? The former prime minister says that he is weak. He stressed that word, weak. He's a weak leader. I'd love to hear from you. 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. And the WhatsApp line to call or text us is 8010271. Considering, well, let me put it this way. I wonder if people confuse threats with strength. Like the young man who comes into your shop with a gun and he feels powerful because you did what he wanted you to do when he pointed that gun in your face. So yeah, that gave me power. But did it? If your power comes from threatening people, making people afraid, are you really powerful? I'm just asking questions here. I see that, like I said, the former prime minister stressed that word weak. And I suppose that he saw himself as a strong leader by the way he led during his administration. What are your thoughts on this? See, I don't want this to be just about my opinion. I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this? Is he correct? Is Davis weak in his leadership? Or does Minnis have a warped view of what strength in leadership is based on his own tenure in the position? Because quite frankly, I've heard some stories about things that went down under his leadership as it relates to his relationship with his cabinet when they may have disagreed with something that he decided to do. And if, from what I have been led to understand, if you had the nerve to stand up against him in cabinet or anywhere else, he would go for the jugular. Is that a sign of strength? Or is that a sign of dictatorship? And whereas I don't think we need weak leadership, because you have to be decisive when you sit in that position, I don't think we need dictatorship either. So I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the matter? Is that a caller for the show? Yes, caller, welcome to GPS. Hello?
Michelle,
Yes.
could we, you getting ready? Are you going to talk about the protest in Miami yesterday before you get offended, or you can get offended?
Why would I get offended?
I just want to know if you're going to bring it up.
We can talk about it now if you wish.
Yeah, what's your take on it?
I really don't have a take on it. Lincoln and his crew decided to take their fight to the U.S., and from what I understand, they did what they call a silent protest, where they had their mouths, what do you call it? Shut with tape or whatever it was to indicate that Bahamians don't have a voice in their own country. And I believe a town meeting was also held. I didn't get to watch the town meeting, so I didn't get to hear what Lincoln had to say at that town meeting. I don't have opinion on it one way or the other. They have their rights to do what they think is necessary to be heard. Some people say it's treasonous. Other people say they got to do what they got to do. I don't have a position on it one way or the other. What are your thoughts on it?
Do you think that was a wise move?
Again, they believe that they needed to take their position. I guess they're trying to get international support for the position that they're taking. So if you're not getting sufficient traction at home doing that, then jump on a plane. Whether or not it will be impactful, I don't know.
You heard what Fred Mitchell said about it, though.
Yes, I do believe. I know I pulled a sound bite with Fred Mitchell. I can't remember if that's what he was talking about. No, the sound bite I have with Fred Mitchell is talking about CARICOM and the Haiti solution. What did Fred Mitchell have to say?
He said something was, he was a security threat going to Miami. He was saying in the same hotel with the Haitian president, he was shooting gun in the air so he can shoot at.
Yeah, they put out a press release.
Yeah, but yeah, the voice note.
Yeah, go ahead.
So what you think about that? That make any sense?
You know, let me tell you one thing I learned when I was working at Resorts World Bimini. You know, they hired me because at the time they weren't doing a very good job at communicating with the people of Bimini. And so with the absence of information, the people were very angry because they didn't know what was being done. And so they figured they needed a Bahamian person to, communicate. And that's one of the prime reasons why I was hired. And one of the things that I learned, because my supervisors were based in the United States, a PR team was in the United States, and I, in essence, was a part of the PR team, but on the ground in Bimini. And my first reaction whenever we would be attacked was, we have to answer these people, we have to answer these people, we have to answer these people. And they would often say, no, because if you do, you're only extending the story. And I was like, huh? They say the more you answer, the more they will say, the more you answer, and all you are doing is extending the story. So I said, oh, okay. I believe that by putting out the response that was put out, all they did was extend the story. I don't believe, and this is just my personal opinion, that what Lincoln and those said and did in Miami was warranting a response here on the ground. I honestly don't believe that. I don't think that would have gained that much traction to warrant a response. But by responding and saying what they said about terrorists and all this kind of stuff, all I did was extend that story and give it legs.
But he was the minister of foreign affairs. He had to say something.
Why?
His office, right?
Why?
No, he in charge of the office, right?
Yeah, he in charge of the office, but why he had to say something?
Really, couldn't just keep quiet?
Why not? Why, if something is so unimportant or insignificant to you, why are you responding to it?
I think that was his job. You don't think so?
Like I say, what I learned is that sometimes it's not worth the response. You just gotta ignore it. But by not ignoring it, you are giving it wings. You're extending the story. Anybody could protest. That's their right. But for you to get up and talk about, oh, this person is a terrorist and assume name in the hotel and known by police, all you doing is bringing attention to this man and his supporters and his view. That's all you're doing. So personally, and I could be wrong, I would not have responded, because all you're doing is extending the story and bringing attention to the matter that he is trying to bring attention to. And had they not done that,
well, you don't think if people stay side, it would speak volumes?
Say it again?
Okay, suppose he didn't say nothing.
Uh-huh.
You don't think it would speak volumes?
I think it speaks more volume by responding, and the response that they gave, again, that's just my opinion. Some things are not worth responding to, because when you respond, then you give it wings. You extend the story. And if you are claiming that this is not as important as, they're making it out to be, why are you responding? By responding, you give it credence. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
Now, how do you feel? What are your thoughts?
I don't have no opinion one way or the other.
Well, why are you trying to press me for one and you ain't got none?
No, you was the A1 journal, that's right. I want to hear what you have to say about it.
I hear you. No, but like I said, that's something that I learned when I started working in the private sector. Because, you know, as Bahamians, we figure we got to answer everything. We ain't taking loss. So you come and you say this, well, I got to answer you back and I got to say that. But all you're doing is bringing attention to something that you don't want to bring attention to. What kind of traction would that protest have gotten apart from Lincoln's supporters had they not brought more attention to it by responding in the manner that they did? How many people do you think would have paid attention to that?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Well, I just think if it was me, I wouldn't have responded because they're in their right to protest. Let them protest. I wouldn't have responded, but that's just me.
Okay, have a nice day.
All right, thank you so much for calling. We have to take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll continue to look at the stories that made headlines this week. So, caller, if you're calling to get on the show, we got to go to this commercial break first, and then we will take any calls after the break. Stay with us. This is GBS.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Weston, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this TGIF Open Line show. The numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or the WhatsApp line 8010271, 8010271. Getting back to that last caller's question, it's like somebody said when they arrested Lincoln and his supporters during the Kiara Crom event, all they did by doing so was make him a martyr. That they worked right in his favor. So some things is just, you got to look at the bigger picture. Is it worth arresting them in the manner that they were arrested, or are you only giving them legs? We have two callers on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi.
I thought you were coming to the other caller, JT here. And trust it all as well. Quick comment on what you just made reference to, then I'll touch on why I'm calling. This thought just comes to mind. If somebody has a box full of dust and that box is lying still in an empty room, that dust stays in that box as long as it's not disturbed, right?
Right.
At the moment you shake that box up or you take one rock and throw it in there, what's going to happen?
All the dust fly up in there.
Well, that's apparently what has happened
Mm-hmm.
in the situation with Lincoln, those being handled the way they were handled by the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
And furthermore, as I reflect on your Monday masterclass regarding the Constitution, it still puzzles me as to what did Lincoln those violate.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know the whole story, so there may be some stuff I don't know. But if somebody knows, please enlighten JT, because I'd love to know. But from all indications, Lincoln those were within their constitutional right to do so, and from the statutory laws that governs public decency, from what I heard and remember hearing, they were not rude until they were being, handled by the police.
Right.
So I would honestly like to know why the police arrested them. Yeah, I remember that point about a security threat at the hotel, but who was the security threat?
Again, I think that was a mistake. Because again, all they did was make him a martyr.
Yeah, exactly.
So, everything ain't worth following up like that or respond. All you're doing is giving it don't make no sense. You cut off your nose to spite your face.
Lincoln, those would have never been protesting in Miami at our consulate last night.
Had that not happened.
Exactly.
So, it doesn't make sense. But
now they're getting more attention worldwide, and they're getting quite likely more support on the ground, simply because they have now been elevated to a higher level because they were handled the way they were handled by the authorities here.
All right. Well, listen, we have another call on the line.
My last quick question. Question about Goodman's Bay.
Say that again?
Goodman's Bay.
What about it?
Street. Has there been any development put on Goodman's Bay, Michelle?
What kind of development?
Buildings or anything?
Not that I know of.
I'm glad to hear you said it because I just came across, I can't remember the title of the article, but I just came across an article in the Tribune. I was talking about this 12-story development that is being continued out there on Goodman's Bay, and I was wondering whether they meant just the general area of Goodman's Bay or the beach, because I heard something about Goodness Bay was rezoned for this particular project. And
You're talking about that condominium project?
Yes, that condominium project, 12-story thing.
Okay.
Is that literally on Goodness Bay? Or that's across the street, or where? Because not being able to see, I honestly don't know.
Is that considered Goodman's Bay?
Is it right next to where the hotel, where Crystal Palace used to be?
It's next to the hotel. I have to go out there again to see exactly where it's sitting, but I think it's next to where the hotel used to be.
All of that was Goodman's Bay.
Okay.
I remember. You remember when the big fight was to save Clifton? Many of us who were supporting that fight at the time used to go out on Goodman's Bay to hold meetings or just to protest, whatever have you, because at one time the government of the day was at that time wanting to give all of Goodman's Bay to the developers at that time of the hotel, and we rose up and we told them no.
Okay.
Now, if I'm reading this right, some of Goodman's Bay has been given away for that development. Man, that's wrong, Michelle. If that indeed is the case, the town planning should have never done that. I mean, how much?
JT, don't forget I got another.
I gotta let you go anyhow. I gotta let you go. Thank you for your time.
All right, thanks for calling. Caller, welcome to GPS. You still there?
Hello, Michelle, am I on?
Yes, you are. How you doing, Fred?
I'm doing great. Listen, your lady don't shy away from nothing. And I mean, this can be a very ticklish show today. And it takes me way back when we were fighting the company you work for in Bimini.
Yes.
And you remember when you were in that very contentious meeting?
Yes.
And when they didn't want to hear you, and I actually had, even though I was on their side, I had to come to your defense in that meeting. Remember that?
I remember very clearly.
Yeah. And so this is a situation now, and we have to realize that when we talk about maybe going out in some foreign country to get the message across, we must realize that 20, 30 years ago, there was only ZNS, and it was controlled by the then government, whether it was PLP or FNM.
Right.
And so when we have so many serious problems in the country, when the country was basically moving towards a dictatorship, we had no access to any media because then we didn't have all this social media thing that we have today.
Right.
And so we actually, human rights, we had to take our message and broadcast it from Florida.
Okay.
So it is not a reprehensible thing that the gentleman who went over there to get the message across, if he was not being accommodated by any media, any large media companies in the Bahamas. And by virtue maybe of the manner in which the individual is doing his work, maybe they didn't want to give him any access, even though he's very popular on social media. And so we have to be very careful that unless we can have, as a little country like this, which can so easily move towards a dictatorship, unless we have open avenues by which we can express our displeasure with any particular government, whether it's PLP or FNM, because we have the same situation now, and it was no business of the Minister of Foreign Affairs to interfere with that particular matter. That was none of his business.
Right.
But he has proclivity to kind of interfere with everything with his highfalutin language and so forth.
Well, again, Fred, you know, some things just are not worth responding to. I'm not to say that.
No, definitely not, because we are in a democratic country.
Yes.
And once we use the proper language and so forth, we have the freedom to make our expression.
Exactly.
And like what happened to him and his group down there when they had the meetings at the big hotel, that was completely uncalled for. They could have been easily controlled gently and not grabbed and roughed up and so forth.
Yeah.
That is despicable.
Yes.
That should never happen in a democratic country.
I agree.
That's something that you will see happen in China or Russia. And I'm hoping that my country does not move in that particular direction.
Agreed.
So it goes way back to there, and I admire you because you stood your ground that night, even though you had people heckling you, because the fight was not against you. It was actually against the government who was giving them that open permission to do to the environment, which we were objecting to.
And here's the thing, with that particular meeting, I remember the general manager and we were just invited to a meeting.
Yeah,
So we thought,
exactly.
okay, we'll go. And when we get there, we see we on the program to speak. I said, what the hell is this? So I turned to my general manager. I said, should we not say anything? He says, no, go ahead and say something. And well, you saw the result of that. But my contention was always that, people tried to combine because of the relationship between the partner that was responsible for constructing the hotel and the brand. They tried to make them one and the same. And the point I was trying to make that night is, I don't work for the construction gentleman.
That was it. And that's when I came to your defense. I almost yelled at the group to tell them to shut up and listen, because you were making a whole lot of good sense. Yeah. And I think we have to be tolerant. And one of the reasons I came to your defense, because you were a woman. And I think you were being taken advantage of in that particular meeting. If you were a man there speaking, they probably not would have attacked you in that particular regard. So kudos
Fred,
to you.
You know me. I got thick skin. I got alligator skin.
Mine is still, with my age now, getting kind of soft. but boy, it's still stuff. Because in spite of all things they put out there to assassinate me, they ain't gonna stop me.
No, man.
If they want to kill me, let them go kill me. And when I get on the other side, I'll just come back and hide them.
Friends, good to hear your voice as always.
Okay, man. Take care and great job, girl.
Thank you.
God bless you.
We have another call on. No? Okay. Yeah, man. Some things just aren't worth it. And please, those of you who are supporters of COI, don't think that I'm trying to minimize the message that you're trying to get out there, okay? I'm not trying to trivialize it or to say it's not important. I'm not saying that, so please don't take this the wrong way. But what I am saying is that when you respond in the way that the police responded out there at Goodman's Bay, when you respond to a protest going on in Miami, all you're doing is giving this thing legs. Bringing attention to something what you say you don't want to have attention to. You extending the story. And that's a lesson I learned from them people in the States. You ain't got to answer everything. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Mr. Malcolm.
Hey.
If I was Mr. Mitchell, I wouldn't even respond to what's going on with the little demonstration.
That's my point. It wasn't necessary to respond to that, but go ahead. Let me hear from you.
It was not necessary, because even America, they trying to figure out what's going on. That was some, even ain't nothing of that.
Let me tell you something. In the United States, protests are dime a dozen. Probably every single day of the year, there's a protest going on somewhere in the United States. Okay? Because Americans believe in their right and freedoms to protest, etc. So why you gonna bring attention to this one particular protest and add to the ability for the or attraction for the international community, or at least the community in the United States, to pay attention to that? Because you responding from a position of government. So even if I wasn't paying attention to this little protest as a media over there, and I see the government responding, there's something important there.
Exactly. Tonight or tomorrow, that would be wiped right off. The only who get the benefit of this, the plane, what they pay for to go over there, and the hotel if they live in a hotel. That's who get it. But otherwise, in that, it's nothing else. Nothing else.
Yeah.
But what I want to touch on, Mrs. Smith, Toby Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You see, sometimes they got to wait before they come to the public talking. And now he got to come back. And he said his word, he apologized.
I don't understand, Toby, because when I approached Toby...
I don't understand what this...
When I approached Toby about coming on the show, he said to me that, his lawyers advising him not to say anything. I said, okay, I understand. Well, the show is always open to you. He said, okay, I appreciate that. Next thing I know, I hear him on all kind of different show talking.
I don't understand what this man is dealing with. I don't want, if he don't know what to say, keep silence and keep out the media and leave it alone.
Anyhow.
To come back and say, well, he apologized, and making them people looking on him now, what's man dealing with? And my last point is Dr. break down the Monroe and what Dr. Minnis them had the other night.
So I can talk about that.
So you ain't touching that now.
Let me just respond to one person who's put something on our Facebook page.
Okay.
And then we can go to that. Tisha Knowles says, so Michelle, it was okay for the government. It is okay for what the government is doing to Bahamians. You don't want attention put to it. And it wasn't a little protest. This guy's a troll. Okay, so Tisha, I don't understand if you heard everything that I just said. Clearly, I did. I just said a moment ago, I'm not trying to trivialize what Lincoln and his team are doing. You didn't hear that?
Mm-hmm.
So how you get from that I don't want attention brought to it? I'm just making a point that by responding in the way that the government and the police have responded, all they are doing is adding fuel to the fire, giving this whole thing more attention than they want attention to be paid to it. I never said that it's okay for the government. Comprehension, you know, when I used to go to high school in government high,
mm-hmm.
they used to teach us comprehension.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just enough to read something or to hear something, but you had to respond to show them that you comprehended what you just read or heard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't teach us in school no more.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, because I never said that, Tisha.
No, but the big broke down, and now he's going. Next stop is Carmichael. Okay.
Yeah.
And like you say, you ain't touching on that yet. I'll give you the opportunity to touch on that before I say anything else.
When you say Carmichael, what you talking about?
No, he's going to Carmichael branch.
Oh, you mean Minnis?
Minnis.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
But like you say, you ain't touch on that. Maybe on the next.
Well, I could go there now.
Okay, but what I'm saying that the big broke down with Don Sanders and all them down there.
Yeah.
Come on, and Mr. Pintard cannot pull this man in and say, listen here, this is it. Come on, and he see that you cannot have two leaders speaking in different places at the same time. It cannot be.
We can talk about that in a minute. We can talk about that.
Okay, I give you opportunity. Okay then.
Yeah, okay. So Lexi Johnson says it's how you say things because it wasn't a little protest. It's all relative, Lexi, because if you look at some of the protests that they have in the United States that draws thousands of people compared to the number of people who showed up, relatively speaking, it was a little protest. It's all relative. But again, my point is that if you do not want to bring attention to something, then you don't bring attention to the thing you're not trying to bring attention to. That's the point I'm trying to make. Okay? Relatively speaking, we've seen protests in the United States with thousands of people. Thousands. So it's all relative. All right? Now, we have time to go into this next subject, or this fight going on in the F&M before the break. We got 10 minutes. Okay. So, Pintard says that the F&M is one big happy family. Let's listen to this report.
Leader of the Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, tight-lipped on what appears to be tension in the party.
One big happy family, my brother.
This after swirling reports of a raft stating that party leadership has reportedly attempted to thwart former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis from speaking at branch meetings.
We're not a dictatorship party, and we will not allow it to be that way.
Bennett Minnis, chairman of the Mount Moriah Constituency Association, tonight noting that he will not bow to that request. This as Dr. Minnis is slated to speak at the constituency's monthly meeting tomorrow.
Dr. Minnis is a former leader of the party. party, former Prime Minister, and a sitting member of Parliament for Kalani. And there's no way that you could deny him from speaking to any association, any Vietnam association.
This becoming the latest sign of a divide in the party, following a March 4th letter from FNM Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands to the Garden Hills Constituency Association Chairman Zendel Morley, stating that the association would be left inactive. It rests on the backdrop of an ongoing battle in court between party leadership and former Vice Chairman Richard Johnson, who alleges that he was unceremoniously ousted from the party. Tonight, however, the Mount Moriah chair says at this time they will support one leader.
And we will support Michael Pinter. Now, if there's others that comes along, then we have a choice we'll decide then whether we will go with someone else or whether we'll go with Michael Pinter. And along with my executives, we support him. If and but about that. There's no doubt about that.
The party is set to have another convention before the next election, set to happen in 2026. Dr. Minnis has not yet stated that he will enter the race, and Pintard has in recent weeks declined to comment. However, all stakeholders are confident that the party will remain strong in the face of its now trying time.
Okay, one big happy family. It's all love. All right, so I want y'all to pay attention to this little short clip from a little incident that happened outside one of the Free National Movement meetings, right around the same time when the leader of the Free National Movement was saying, "We're just one big happy family." Listen to this.
This is real time. That interview was nonsense. You understand? Because they trying to decipher the associations from inviting who Dr. Minister speak. That's nonsense what he said just now. I'm the chairman for Michael. That's nonsense. He should know better than that. You understand? You shouldn't say that type of nonsense, Mr. Sanders. You shame this body. That's the chairman here who was given the letter. You understand? Don't you ever lie to the Bahamian people again for this organization. Stop it. Stop it. No, Peter. That nonsense like that needs to stop. Record it. That's nonsense. God Sanders said. Nonsense. Nonsense. That is not fine. Send me a letter. I bind it in front of the headquarters.
You're not interested in building the brand, the party.
Boy, aren't they all happy? If that's what one big happy family look like, no wonder we so dysfunctional in this country. No wonder the family unit. So that's a big happy family? Boy, Michael, you're my friend. And I know you are very good with your words. And you are a man of theater. But we ain't buying that, Michael. I'm so sorry. No. This is not a play, and this is not a game. Clearly, y'all ain't one big happy family right now. Clearly, there is some kind of rift going on within the Free National Movement. And I'm not saying that rifts don't happen in all political parties, but y'all airing all y'all dirty linen in the public for everybody to see. So don't come to me and tell me, oh, we're just one big happy family, when you got that kind of ruckus going on outside your headquarters. Like, make it make sense. They say that a sign of a good leader is somebody who can follow. If you think that you ain't supposed to follow nobody, everybody gotta follow you, then that's a sign of a weak leader. In order to be a good leader, you have to be a good follower. And saying that, in my opinion, Dr. Minnis was very instrumental, in my opinion, you may disagree, of separating the body, of causing the divide in the body. He should be the very one, in my opinion, who is leading by example of how to bring the party together, following the leader that is now in the seat, in the person of Mr. Michael Pintard. But no, he want our seat back. So what is he doing? In my opinion, undermining the authority of the man that's sitting in it. Now, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would he have responded to Pentad? You think he was going for the jugular? Things that make you go, We have to take a break. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. This is GPS.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
We are back. Welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF Open line show. The telephone numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or 801-0271, 801-0271, where you can also send us text messages. And of course, we are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm page, and you can also catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. So before I go to the caller, I want to read this quick message that was sent to us on WhatsApp. And this says, good afternoon, Michelle. I'm an F&M, and in spite of the clip you played, we are one big happy family. You name me one family we consider happy, and there's no indifference in that family. All right. You call it happiness? Boy, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Caller, you there?
Hello.
Hi.
Michelle, who was that gentleman he was talking to? The one who say he saved you in the meeting? Hey, you keep calling him Fred. I thought that was Joe Dowell.
Oh, I called him Fred. It is Joe Dowell. It was Joe Dowell. I called him Fred?
Yeah, you keep saying Fred.
Oh, man, Joe, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Joe. That's Joe Dowell.
Oh, I thought that was
Yeah. I didn't realize I was calling him Fred. Yeah, that's Joe Dowell. You need to turn on your radio, whatever you're listening to us on. Okay? That was all you're calling about? I guess so. Okay, I think that call is gone. You need to disconnect. Yeah, Joe, sorry about that. That was Joe Dowell. I don't know where I get Fred from. Unless because somebody was talking about Fred Machule. Yeah, maybe that's what it was. But yes, that was Joe Dowell, who talked about that particular contentious meeting when I was working in Bimini. So yeah. Okay, so let's continue on with the show. So yeah, that text says that in spite of that clip, they are one big happy family. Okay then. All right then. I think that family need a little therapy because if that's what you call happiness, I wouldn't want to see when y'all ain't happy. That's frightening. Miko says PLP and FNM fighting for power and control over the finances. The only time they think about the people is when they want to use them for a photo op or as a narrative in their bickering. All right. Perline says the comparison should not be made because we only have so much Bahamians. Our country is very small to compare to America. This right here is not fair. For me, it was a lot of people there to compare to Nassau, where we have most of our population for the first time. The town hall meeting had much more. I thought it was successful. Perline, I didn't say it wasn't successful. I am just saying that from a perspective of the media in the United States, that would not have been considered a large protest. And by the government or a government agency responding to that, what they in essence did was bring the attention of the international media to this protest, which would give it wings, which would make them think, oh, okay, this isn't just some little small protest. There's something else here to be seen. That is what I was trying to say. You all can understand that? I'm not, as I have said before, I am not trying to diminish the message or the fight of Lincoln Bain and COI. That's not the point. You're missing the point. The point is, the last thing you should be doing is drawing attention to something that you don't want to be receiving attention. That's the point which y'all can't seem to understand. That's what I'm trying to say here. Okay? I'm not diminishing in any way the cause for what Lincoln is standing for. I'm not, that's not the point. The question was raised, what did I think about the government response or about Mitchell's response? So my answer was based on the question. What do I think about his response? And my thought is he should not have responded. That's the point. So y'all please stop getting lost in translation. What is being said here? All right? Okay. Now, let's continue. Yeah, so the people said it's one happy family. So don't mind the fighting in the road. Don't mind what seems to be two people jockeying for position, for leadership. One, the current leader, and one who's trying to get back in the seat of leadership. Don't mind all that. Be one big happy family. Boy, if that's what a happy family look like, I'm scared. Because clearly there's dysfunction in that family. Now, is that a healthy part of democracy? Sure. It's a healthy sign of democracy. Okay? But I highly recommend that the Free National Movement try to pull back and keep your fight internal and don't be airing all your dirty linen for everybody to see, because what you're doing is you are giving the impression that you are not one big happy family. And quite frankly, ain't nobody buying that. Ain't nobody buying that. That's like saying to me, don't believe what you see. Just believe what I tell you to believe. How about now? We all can see, because y'all bringing it to the public, what is going on within the Free National Movement. And again, I say that all parties, I suspect, have their little internal struggle going on, where people jockeying for position or secretly seeking to unseat the leader and all that kind of stuff. But at least they got the good sense to try to keep theirs internal, eh? Okay. So Tisha says, why bring attention to the FNM? Isn't that giving them life? You all forget minutes already? I ain't gonna say no more, Tisha, because I'll be guilty of the same thing when I say it don't make no sense. It make no sense. I'll just know for it. I've already made my position clear. Miko says, no, let it out. Laugh out loud. I mean, it's interesting to watch. Jillian says, the crazy cycle continues the crazy cycle continue you again and again. Immature distractions which we don't need. We have the focus on the issues. I think you meant we have to focus on the issues and when they will fix it. Okay, gotcha. Miko says, Miss Malcolm is even-handed. You get both sides of the coin. Well, I try to be. And, I realize that when it comes to politics, and I realized this from when I was a young journalist, here's the thing. In this country especially, when you're doing your job right as a journalist, then everybody accuses you of being a supporter of the party they oppose. So when you're doing your job right as a journalist, the PLP calling you FNM, the FNM calling you PLP, the COI calling you PLP and FNM, that tells you you're doing your job. Because you're supposed to be middle of the road. And you're supposed to present as best as you can all sides of the story. Because, okay, let me read this text. It says, is the royal family dysfunctional because of what Harry did and said about them? And wasn't that worldwide? Yeah, they dysfunctional. And yes, it was worldwide. And how do you think that's benefiting them? Texter. Is the fact that Harry wrote that book and all this back and forth benefiting them, or is that undermining their position in the world, undermining their the perception of their authority? It's undermining them. So what's your point? We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Mr. Malcolm.
Hey.
You see why this big happy family ain't going away?
Why?
Because they fighting and carrying on, but they say there's one big happy family.
One big happy family.
One big happy family.
We are in love.
Now we see they ain't going no place. They gonna toe the line for a long time.
Don't be so sure now.
Until they realize, hey, we supposed to be one happy family. Why are we fighting against one another? Huh? Who they could be fooling? There are more younger people who are smarter and know what's going on and stuff like that. But they can say there's one big happy. If this is one big happy family, that means show me the big family who ain't happy. Thank you, Ms. Malcolm.
Thanks for calling. Yeah, if that's what happiness look like, boy. My point is, you can't expect us to believe what you say when we clearly could see with our own eye and hear with our own ears that there's challenges and issues going on. But like I said, in this town, it's all about the tribe. It's all about the tribe. So if you say anything against my tribe, we like to talk about these boys and girls nowadays who are members of these gangs. Oh, these gangs are a problem. You only realize you're in a bunch of gangs? You got the red gang, you got the yellow gang, and you got the independence color gang. All y'all in gang. You call them a political party, but all y'all in gangs. All y'all are banded together for what you believe to be your cause. And I'm kind of disappointed to say that all of y'all have trolls who will go for people's jugular if they say something that don't agree with your gang. All of y'all. So what make you different from them fellas on the street who join in the gang? Only difference is they carry a gun. We have 2 callers on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yeah, good day, Lady Malcolm. How you doing?
Excellent. How are you?
Right on point. Wonderfully, wonderfully. See, them trolls, they crumb catchers. You see? Obviously, they crumb catchers. They're the ones with this something, little contract here, little contract there. And that's how they operate. So it doesn't matter. And see, the problem is, after 15 months, that's 15, 16 months, and that dismal performance that Dr. Menace had as Prime Minister. If Bahamian people think he bouncing back to try to help us, then they got to be stupider than I think after just 15 months. You understand? The problem is what Brave did translates into whichever Prime Minister sits in the chair with the carbon credits and the billions of dollars we're supposed to be getting. So it doesn't matter which one of them win. The office of the Prime Minister gets to control that. And the Bahamian people can't see that's what Minister clamoring for him and his blue-eye boy. They don't trust Pintard. Pintard is not an original FNM. So they tell him, Menace, you got to go in and start pushing him out from now. That is the only thing Dr. Menace looking at, because if
we lost that caller. I hope you call back. We didn't disconnect you. I don't know if your phone went dead or whatever. We have another caller. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller. They're gone. Okay. Numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or 8010271. 8010271, which is our WhatsApp line where you can also send a message. So Vernon Woodside says, Miss Malcolm, please. What I say went wrong, Vernon? What I say went wrong? What did I say that is not true? That all of y'all have your trolls who won't go for the jugular anybody who say anything against your narrative. I see some messages, but you put on here what I wouldn't even put up on the screen, Vernon, because I thought they were inappropriate. Because anybody who says anything that doesn't agree with you, you attack. So what I say was wrong? We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, respect, Ms. Malcolm. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Yes, I just calling about the protest which I was talking about in Miami. It's just my opinion to it. It's like if you have a prime minister and you have a government that is doing the opposite of what they say that they was doing, you know what I mean? I feel you have a right to speak out. I feel you have a right to speak out.
Yeah, I ain't disagreeing with that. I agree with you.
If they silencing you and don't want you to say, you get what I'm trying to say? I always say, if somebody lying to you, and if they lie, they keep lying, they have to remember the truth, eh? And if you ain't easy to be offended, why you always, like, to me, everything with Fred Mitchell spewing and you 100% right. That is unnecessary.
Very.
If you know that you doing, you're staying on the right course. That's just my opinion. And them people who went over there, if you look at it, and I agree with you 100%, if you allow them people to express themselves here, you would avoid them going over there. And you don't know, to me, that could be a bigger problem because you don't know who could pick that up internationally.
Exactly.
Even if you're only watching it here, that could be showing that, hey, whatever spotlight you didn't want on the Bahamas now can be shined on the Bahamas. So I agree when you say, you know what I mean, and I think they flickered a fire because they didn't have to respond to that.
Poured gasoline on a fire. Poured gasoline on a fire you're trying to put out. That don't
I
make
agree
no
with
sense.
You, man. No sense. Let them do what they got to do. They have a right to that because it still comes down to people and their choice who they want to vote for and whatnot.
Right.
And that's how I feel. But don't try to silence nobody. That's like if I'm in a relationship and I'm dealing with a woman and I just tell her, your opinion don't matter and everything that I say is right. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You understand? That don't make, and if I keep going on like that, you think that woman will stay with me? No. So if they want to protest and do what they got to do, let them, that's their right. And I 100% down on what you're saying. I feel the government only, every time they respond, I feel like they're exposing themselves even wider. That's just my opinion on that.
Extending the story.
Extending the Thanks story. A lot, man.
Thank you for calling. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. And again, people, I am not saying that the cause is not an important one. Because I still seeing comments on Facebook where you're clearly comprehending that. I'm not saying it wasn't an important cause or it's not an important cause. What I am saying is that by responding in the manner in which they are, all the officials are doing is shedding more of a spotlight on the cause that they are trying to obviously withdraw the spotlight from. That's the point I'm trying to make. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yeah, sorry, Lady Malcolm. I had to call back because you and that call up was right on point just now with the point that you all made in terms of fanning the flames bigger than what it should be.
Right.
You know what the biggest tragedy about what happened in Miami yesterday is for the government? They're going to close the embassy. So what would that tell the international? The protesters over there going to say, we don't have no freedom of speech, no freedom of movement, no freedom of nothing, and being oppressed. So to close the embassy, what you think that's telling someone with common sense? That this government really, really is suppressing these people. Because suppose me and you had some business with the embassy yesterday. The protest didn't look all messed up to me.
Right.
But
I trying to find I know I had seen it. I trying to find the press release that they put out in response because I believe that press release said the embassy wasn't closed. But I try to find it, but I can't find it right now.
The embassy wasn't closed. If that's the case, then I got some ice to sell to an Eskimo.
Don't believe what you see in here. Believe what I tell you to believe.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't find it though. I don't know why. I thought I had here it is. Here it is. Okay, let me read what this press release says, and this was issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday, 23rd March, 2023, on the demonstration by Bahamian activists in Miami. And this is what the press release says. The Bahamas consulate in Miami is open for business and all staff at the embassy are safe and accounted for. Now, this was issued yesterday. There are people who claim to be Bahamian activists who are demonstrating in the precincts of the Bahamas consulate in Miami today. They are protesting against what they say is the denial of their right to demonstrate during the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting in the Bahamas in mid-February. Every Bahamian citizen has the right to demonstrate in the Bahamas. They are, therefore, operating on a false premise if that is their cause. They are misrepresenting Bahamian law. What we know is that there are several figures who were arrested within the precincts of the conference because they had breached the security cordon of the meeting. The facts are that under an assumed name, an individual connected to the Miami demonstrators, known to the police to be a security threat, checked into the hotel where the conference was about to take place and where several heads of government were staying, including the Haitian Prime Minister. The individual had earlier published a video in which he fired an illegal assault weapon and threatened to kill Haitians. When these facts were known, the authorities interdicted him and stopped any planned actions on his part. That's the press release put out yesterday by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I can leave that right there. I even ain't gonna say nothing else. Because blind Blake could see that I make no sense. All you do it is anyhow, I can leave that right there. I even ain't gonna touch that one. Because that don't make no sense. All you're doing is bringing attention to the very same thing what you're trying to draw attention away from. You can send out that press release from a whole Ministry of Foreign Affairs? A whole government ministry? So all you telling the international community, who may not have been paying attention to these people, pay attention to these people. How much sense that make? You're cutting off your nose to spite your face. You ain't got to respond to everything. And then if you can respond, the response got to be a little better than that. But anyhow, that's just my opinion. That's just my little humble opinion. You may disagree or agree. But everybody entitled to their opinion. But to me, that didn't make no sense. The arrest and the manner in which it happened during the conclave didn't make sense. That didn't make sense, in my humble opinion. And now this, in that same category of not making sense. But it is what it is. Maybe I'm privy to some things, but because it's just me and my little opinion. But all you doing is extending the story. All you doing is pouring gasoline on a fire, what you say you're trying to put out. Some things ain't worth answering to. And again, I'm not saying that the cause is not an important one. So those of you who have little comprehension challenges, please hear that. What I'm speaking to is not of the importance of the cause, but the reaction of the officials. That's what I'm speaking to. All right? You all understand that? And if you can't understand that, well, ain't nothing I can do about that. The number to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, and the WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 8010271. So Alicia Josie says they closed the embassy for safety. Miko says the lobby man confirmed it was closed. Jillian says, I personally went into the U.S. Embassy building. The man at the front desk said the office was closed. That's what he told me. Okay. Let's see. Perlene says, don't tell them it's Michelle Malcolm. They are too dumb and corrupt. Don't teach them nothing. I try to teach nobody nothing. I just get my little humble opinion. Tisha says, you silly people worrying about PLP and F&M garbage. Hope you know we have serious health risks. These foreigners have brought back TB and HPV to our shores, and it's getting out of hand. And Miko says, how can you trust people who are continuously, blatantly lying to the people as if the truth ain't readily available? All right. Break time? Okay, time to take a break. When we come back, there's more news, more top stories from the past week to cover, or anything else you guys want to talk about. Let's do it. This is Open Line TGIF Friday. Waiting to hear from you. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
At Lee Air, safety is our number one priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy, with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this TGIF Open Line Friday. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or 8010271, 8010271. We're streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm Facebook page. We're also streaming on YouTube. And you can catch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. So every Friday, we look at the week that was, and you, my audience, serve as my co-host. So it's not just about the clips that I have pulled, but anything else that you want to talk about. This is the time to get it off your chest. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit. The United States put out some report about the human rights record here in the Bahamas as it relates to illegal immigration, I guess, and some other stuff. Anyway, Minister Bell is not taking this report lying down. Keith Bell had some words to say as it relates to that U.S. human rights report on the Bahamas. Here's that clip.
A Bahamas human rights report published by the U.S. Department of State slamming government for making little to no progress in addressing statelessness in country. The report suggests that the ineffective implementation of laws to grant nationality to long-term residents contributed to this vexing issue. However, Immigration Minister Keith Bell today defending the country's constitutional process.
I'm satisfied that our laws are strong and we are following them to the extent to which we will take our time to ensure that whomever comes to this country may be granted citizenship. That is the responsibility and the authority of the government, and we will ensure that we do our due diligence.
The report went on to criticize government for failing to give a timely response to those who apply at age 18. This as scores of applicants have also expressed their boiling frustrations, having to wait in limbo for years after not getting approval following their application. And while the report says that also results in a backlog in nationality applications, Bell maintains that those seeking to become citizens must be patient.
We're not going to be rushed by virtue of someone remaining in this country for a significant period of time, particularly given the fact that we do have a number of persons who come to the country illegally. And it is a very topical debate at this time.
It's against this backdrop, the immigration minister says government must be allowed to do its job.
There are applications in which there are inordinate delays. However, the fact that someone applies for citizenship, the immigration department must do its due diligence. It is as simple as that. We receive applications from a significant number of persons of different nationalities. And we have to check with these states, these countries, to ensure that documents that we receive are authentic. They have to be authenticated. We have to ensure that there is no duplication or imposters, as we have seen in the past.
Bell contends that the Bahamian public must also have a say in who government allows to become naturalized citizens.
The laws are currently under review, the Nationality Act, and in due course there will be widespread consultation with the Bahamian people to ensure that who we wish to make citizens in this country, there is consensus among our population.
Meanwhile, under the previous minister's administration, a commission was appointed to fast-track citizenship applications, chaired by retired Justice Malcolm Adderley, and that commission was established on January 1st, 2018. That 7-member commission was tasked to clear the backlog in applications, and while reports suggest that there was considerable progress, no figures on how many applications were approved were available up to news time.
All right, so what are your thoughts on this? The United States is saying that we don't have a good record when it comes to statelessness. Boy, I got to be so careful by what I say. I really got to. You know, they say diplomacy is telling somebody to go to hell and they look forward to the trip. I don't know that the United States is in any position to tell the Bahamas about its record as it relates to human rights. I think y'all need to take that beam out your eye before y'all look at what in our eye, U.S., with all respect. Because, you know, y'all got some issues yourself when it comes to human rights. Big time. With your own people. So with all due respect, you know, big United States of America, we all get off our trying to tell us how to manage our little country when y'all got hell managing your own. But the very thing what you're trying to beat us with. What y'all into? Anyhow, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Madam Michelle.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am okay. Madam Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
myself and you, and many others, JT, C. Allen Johnson, we've been here long enough to see the Bahamas digress. And I know JT and C. Allen Johnson make very good contributions. But we had a discussion at my workplace a moment ago.
Mm-hmm.
As we talk and call your talk shows, and we make very good contributions, especially C. Allen Johnson and JT.
Mm-hmm.
The question in short, how did the Bahamas find itself in this bad sport? That's the question. Can you help me? I'm getting old now. The Bahamas has digressed right before our eyes. The question, how did we get to this sport? We can see the social breakdown. We can look. Listen, I gotta say this. My vehicle was down.
Mm-hmm.
Is down still.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been catching the bus. Madam Michelle, the standard, oh God. And as I ride the bus, and I see the hygiene is deteriorate and all that. You know, we see the place is dirty and filthy, as what we used to know as earlier years. There was a day that every person take responsibility in cleaning up their yard or their surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Hygiene was the first order of the day in schools, etc. The question is, I know JT is qualified and I know C. Allen, and I would like for them to respond. How did we get in this bad place or this bad sport? I'll hang up and listen.
You mean with regard to what specifically?
In terms of our social disorder, our social breakdown, the country, everything is we seems not to resolve nothing but having a conversation.
Well, you know how I think we got there?
Tell me.
Because we're trying to move ancient boundary. We're trying to move. Okay, let me give this example. And I've given this example before on the show, so if you've heard it before, please bear with me, but it bears repeating. I am trying to do some renovations within my home, right?
Okay.
I gutted the whole inside, as I needed to make some major changes to the inside of the home in terms of splitting it up for different things. And I have this vision of what I want the front area to look like. I want it to be more of an open air, one room flowing into the next. So I had them take down all the walls. And there's this one, I have this vision, okay, the kitchen starts here and I want it to flow right into the living room, right into the dining and all this kind of stuff. And so the contractor says to me, Ms. Malcolm, that's all fine and well, but you see this beam right here? You can't move this. Now, it just so happens that the beam in the middle of the floor, what I try to have this flowing open space because I think it's pretty. He said, you see this beam right here? You can't move this. I said, why? You're in my way. I don't want it there. He said, Ms. Malcolm, you could afford and not want this beam there, but if you move this beam, you have to understand this is the beam with holding up your roof.
Gold post.
So you could move this beam because you think it in your way, but just be prepared for your whole roof to come crashing down.
Yes. Follow me.
So you see, our problem is we got these beams that are supposed to be holding everything up that are in our way for what we want to do. Because we got this vision of, what we want. I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to have the freedom to do this and the freedom to do that, yada, yada, yada. So we have moved some very important beams that were holding this whole thing up. And now we standing there in dismay when everything come crashing down. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Now, I could be stupid and tell the contractor who know his business and know why that beam there, do it. I ain't hearing what you got to say. I want the beam gone, so move it. I can do that. But then I got to be prepared to face the consequences of the roof coming crashing down. It's as simple as that. You can't plant corn and expect peas to come up. So we have consistently been removing beams that have been holding this thing up. And now we stand up throwing our hand there saying, I wonder what happened. Why the roof falling in? But why you think? I hope that answers your question.
Well said. I have no rebuttal on that. I would like to hear C. Allen and JT respond. You know, do you remember Reverend Sanders?
Yes, very well.
You know, that was another debate we had. Who in this country with a voice now can shake the tree? What do I mean? With the influence that the nation would listen to that will shake the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Reverend Sanders preached a message, we have lost the moral compass. And I remember he preached a sermon also, go back to Bethel. Mm-hmm. And you know, I chose someone. And the person said, oh man, there's someone right now with a voice that when she speaks, it's a woman, you know. Mm. It's a woman. When she speaks, she shakes trees. But I haven't heard her for a while. I hope you would find a way to invite her on your show.
What's her name?
Her name is Joan Sawyer. Dame Joan Sawyer.
Yeah. The powerful
when
woman.
She speaks, she shake the tree. I don't know no one else.
And you may not agree with everything what she say.
Thank you. You agreeing with me today?
But she coming with conviction, boy. She believing what she's saying.
I mean, we need this woman to shake the tree. Hmm. We need, if you can, find a way to get her. Because we need to shake some trees. We need to shake some fruit off some trees. Mm. But I will hang up and I like to hear JT, and I would like to hear Professor and for C. Allen Jones. How did we get to this point? I'll hang up and listen, but seek to find Madam Joan Sawyer.
Yeah, I used to have a number for her. I don't know if I still do. I will see if I can reach her, but she ain't easy to reach. That thing I know for sure. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Miss Malcolm.
Hi.
I hope you're doing well.
Hey, Professor, what you saying?
Listen, I heard the remarks made by, you said, the Minister of Immigration.
Mm-hmm.
See, the government has to act responsibly. And I'm glad you draw an analogy about the beam. That's a good analogy that you made. The thing is, we're limited in a lot of areas, manpower, machinery, money, and so forth. You cannot keep taking application after application after application, knowing that the place is full, knowing you don't have the manpower and machinery to deal with all of this, in the interest of national security and public safety, which is in the Constitution. The government has to take action to protect the interests of the nation.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we got people running up and down all over the place. We don't really know who's in the country. When the man said is, how much he said, 25,000 or 250,000, whatever number he used.
Of what?
Of personalities of that particular nation.
150,000, he
150,000,
said.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
The government of the Bahamas has not answered that yet, you know.
They know why.
Yes,
they know why?
No.
They know why.
Well, maybe they know why. Okay, fine. I'm saying to you, this was a slap right in the office of Prime Minister in front of the government of Bahamas, with all the big wigs there. And the man tell you this, and you haven't answered it yet. And now the remarks made by the Minister of Immigration, which really don't make much sense. You cannot have people in your country for long delays waiting on anything. That's not in your national security interest. It's not in the interest of public safety.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what he said. The government has to make a decision. Listen, we have to put a hold on some things. They've not done that. Now we're at the point where the court has removed the injunction of shantytown. They were saying their hands were tied. That is utter nonsense and foolishness. Let me tell you why. No court in the Bahamas can stop a government from carrying out its lawfully constituted authority. You want me to repeat that? Because some people don't understand how this thing goes, you know. No court, Supreme Court or appeals court, can stop a government from carrying out its lawfully constituted authority. Can't happen. Now they can make a ruling. The government can do four things. One, you can accept the ruling. Number two, you can appeal the ruling. Number three, you can ignore the ruling. And also, you can just discard it. But the government did none of that. It went back and it asked the court to, and the court decided to lift it up. Okay, fine. That could have been done many years ago, but we waited for 5 years for that to happen. Now the damage is such where all of those things that violated the law of the land, building permits violations, sewerage violations, water violations, all kind of violations. Are these people going to pay for those violations? They're going to be charged for all this damage they've done. I heard them say they're putting up notices in Abaco. I don't know what they're going through that for.
I actually have that clip of the minister talking about the Shantytown plan.
Yeah, because the thing is that you were saying your hands were tied. That is utter nonsense and foolishness. They could have appealed it if they wanted to. They could have even ignored it if they wanted to. But the point is, a court cannot lawfully stop a constituted government from carrying out its lawful duties for the interests of the country. That could never happen. But the thing is, right now, we're in a serious crisis. And I think we're going to have to help them, Ms. Malcolm. We can't let them carry us down the way we're going now, because this is utter nonsense and foolishness.
Yeah.
We have to help them, show them the way out. And I can help them to show them the way out constitutionally.
All right.
Because that's the way it has to go. We have to operate constitutionally. See, if the government was operating constitutionally from day one, July the 10th, 1973, we wouldn't be in the crap we're in right now. Thank you very much, Ms. Malcolm.
Thank you for calling, Professor. I want to play one clip before we go to the break. This is Minister Bell once again talking about the Shantytown plan, and here's what he had to say with regard to that.
Absolutely, we have a plan. And the reality is, and again, you would recall as I've addressed the media in the Bahamas before, there are three categories of persons that we have identified live in these shanty towns. First of all, we have Bahamians living in these shanty towns. We have persons who are non-Bahamians but have legal status in the country, that is persons on work permits. And thirdly, we have illegal immigrants residing in these areas. The responsibility of the government is to Bahamians. So where we find that there are Bahamians residing in the shanty towns, we will make provisions through the Department of Social Services, the ministry, to ensure that we provide or at least give them the opportunity to find adequate housing. For persons residing in these shanty towns who are on work permits, the responsibility is for their Bahamian employers to ensure that they have adequate living accommodations. And thirdly, the category of irregular immigrants, they ought not to be here. They will be arrested and deported.
So there you have it. I have a text, and then we go into our last break, that says, Michelle, somehow Bahamians seem afraid to address this issue put forward. The actions of our electors proves that the Bahamas is a country that is run like a monopoly game. The only opportunity Bahamians have is to pass, go and collect $200 or go to jail. The so-called politicians ensure that Bahamians will never own the hotels, utilities, etc. I want the true, organic, or native Bahamians to remember that the majority of these parasitic electors are the descendants of imported Negroes from other Caribbean islands. They were imported into the Bahamas in the same past to be used in the subjugation of original slave descendants. These descendants who have entered politics have the same mindset as their parents, that the natives are inferior bodies. time to wake up and shake the very establishment led by a prime minister who himself has disregard for Bahamians. Look at the top leaders and their marriage to multiple foreign wives or husbands. It shows where his mindset is. Anyone expecting changes from these clowns in the Parliament circus are delusional. The hogs are on the animal farm are fulfilling their purpose. All right. Is that a call for the show? Okay. Final break. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
Blood sugar levels play a key role in your appetite, weight gain, and overall health. When you have a blood sugar spike, you can feel confused, dizzy, and even have increased cravings. Eating carbohydrates, sugary or fatty foods, and not exercising can all cause blood sugar spikes. But now you have help in managing blood sugar levels. Sweeties by Youngevity was designed to help support healthy blood sugar levels so you can power through your day. It's a synergistic blend of minerals, herbs, and nutrients that have been proven to support healthy blood sugar levels. Sweeties includes chromium, an essential trace mineral that's known for its contribution to healthy blood sugar levels and improved metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. Cinnamon bark has been included for its naturally occurring antioxidants and support of a healthy heart. And we've even added gymnema. It's been used in Ayurveda for centuries to help promote healthy blood sugar. All the ingredients in Sweeties work together to give the best support available for blood sugar control. Sweeties, the blood sugar support supplement from Youngevity that helps control cravings and manage blood sugar levels through your day. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Tracklight, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
As you age, factors like health, weight, diet, and lifestyle can all impact your bones, joints, and general mobility. Even everyday exercise can lead to wear and tear on your body. Over time, you might start to experience stiffness or pain due to damaged joints or connective tissue. Ultimate Glucogel by Youngevity was created to help you limit the effects of wear on your joints. It delivers a daily dose of collagen-rich gelatin your body needs for joint elasticity and maintenance. Ultimate Glucogel contains a 1-to-1 ratio of gelatin and glucosamine sulfate, which is a key building block of your bone matrix, cartilage, ligaments, tendons, and connective tissue. Gelatin's unique blend of amino acids not only help with muscle and joint health, but also has been shown to provide additional benefits for the brain, skin, and hair. Ultimate Glucogel. Natural, optimal daily support for joint health. To learn more, contact your Youngevity associate.
Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this TGIF Open Line show. Last call of the day. Caller, welcome to GPS.
I thank you. I feel so privileged. Listen, let me show you how you can tell Mr. Bell is only ringing a bell.
Uh-huh.
And he's pandering to our ignorance. He should never, ever say that we have illegals in the shantytown and he didn't remove them. He is just reporting, and he's going to continue to find a way to say that report in a different way. But he's just believing that we are stupid because he's probably the best one who could speak out all of them. You know, he seems to be able to speak very well. But if he's going to indicate that he knows of illegals in the shantytown and he's doing nothing about it, it means he's a part of them being there. That's how I feel about it.
All right. Thank you for calling. Okay. We have a lot of comments with regard to what he said. Let me see if I could read a couple of these. So Frank is asking the question, why are we awarding these people for crimes? Miko says, you should be ashamed to say Bahamians living in shanty towns are homeless. Frank again says, they broke the law by building there. Jillian, it's not called irregular immigrants. It's called like illegal migrants, period. If anyone is breaking our housing laws, that's an issue. Answer it real quick. Let's see if we have time. We have 4 minutes left. Tisha says, we are being turned into slaves and giving away our birthright as payments by the evil governments that have destroyed us for 50 years. Last call. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Yes, good afternoon, Michelle Malcolm.
Hi.
Ken Delano from Freeport, long time no here.
Uh-huh.
And I keep on listening. The letter you read is so deep and it's so knowledgeable and it's so accurate. Them the kind of brains and mind I need to be with. Couldn't say no difference, no better, and it's reality. Yeah, and I can't say nothing about it. Same thinking, same mind. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling. Okay. Yeah, people. Let's see. We got some more comments here. Okay, I'm not sure where this thread started. I'm not sure who Anishka is responding to. Okay. Let's see. We've got 3 minutes left in the show. Let's end the show on a positive note. And that is the fact that Cat Island, ground was broken in Cat Island for a new airport. And this is a part of the government's plan to upgrade airports throughout the country. This is a very short clip, so let's go to this real quick.
The new airport is a very big and very important investment in the people and future of this special island. As a Tier 2 airport, it will serve as a port of entry with customs and immigration services and will be equipped with a state-of-the-art fire station. The design is modern and sustainable, featuring solar panels, smart lighting, and rainwater collection. Our history and culture will be on full display as well, with regatta-inspired decorations and multiple opportunities for local entrepreneurs to exhibit their products. A new airport, my friends, means much more than increased travel capacity for Cat Island.
What you are about to witness today is the manifestation of the government's mandate to improve airport infrastructure across our archipelago. The figures could easily convince you. I am pleased to report that in 2022, foreign air and sea arrivals to Cat Island increased by 60.3% compared to 2019. In 2019, Cat Island received just over 1,200 foreign air and sea arrivals. In 2022, the numbers climbed to 2,000 international arrivals to Cat Island.
All right, so I only got a minute left. That is indeed good news for the island of Cat Island, that they are looking to fix up the airport. More arrivals, more business, more prosperity for the people of Cat Island. Guys, it's 4 o'clock. I got to get out of here. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I sure intend to enjoy mine. Until next week, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please, people, put down the guns, put down the hate. Let's love each other more because life is short and you don't know when your time will come. Until next week, take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the view